Good morning, good morning. Happy Saturday. Hope you had a fantastic time last night, whatever you were doing. And welcome. We're going to have a wonderful day today. Yesterday, we had a little bit of technical issues late last night. So I was quite pleased because it meant I get to come in and I get another show with Craig. Because all day today, I've got myself and Craig. And all day yesterday, it was myself and Craig. And then I'm not working for 2 weeks because obviously they thought too much Craig can't be a bad thing, must always be a good thing. And Craig, I've got you with me all day today, haven't I?
You do indeed. You do indeed. I'm just trying to stay calm to start with because it's going to be such a fun day. Do you know what? It's going to be a fun weekend. But yeah, if we really focus on today, you know, we're going to be focusing on our confetti border dies because, let me just finish cleaning my glass mat there before I stick my elbow in it. Because what we're going to do at the end of today, we're going to have a craft along when it comes to the confetti border dies. Now, if you go across onto the Crafters TV social page, you will see all of the items that you're going to need. Do you know what? You don't need a lot, but when it comes to these ones here, yes, it's a box, but what I've done is I've decorated it on the front with our confetti border dies. We're going to do one of my current favourite backgrounds at the moment, and that is with the strips of cardstock, the waste. I had, during the week, said on my Insta stories, we're going to do the triple embossing. I've changed that, but don't worry, because the very first demonstration this morning on Play Your Crafts Right, we're going to do triple embossing. But within this one here, what we're going to do is the base is attached to the lid.
Look how exciting.
And look at that.
Chocolate in a box. Not just one.
Nope. We have then got 3.
Fantastic.
Now, these hold, size-wise, 110 grams when it comes to the chocolate bars. But, of course, you can then put a few different things in there if you so wish. But we've gone bright, we've gone cheery. I've gone in as well with my current favourite sentiment die, Hello, which was from our 2022 Advent calendar. But as I say, if you go into Crafters TV, you'll find the shopping list, so to speak. If you go into my Facebook page, I've added a link. There's a couple of pictures of me and Becky I've posted, and there's a link to all the things that you're going to need. So therefore, within Play Your Crafts Right, we're going to focus on the confetti border dies as well as the Gemini MIDI. And then later on, we're going to have a masterclass, which is all about interlaced dies. But we'll tell you all about that within the next show. But these ones, for something, Becky, that are such a small piece of metal, are very, very versatile in what you can create.
They're extremely pretty, aren't they?
They are. They really, really are. And it could be simply white cardstock at the back. It could be patterned paper at the back. It could be waste strips of cardstock like we'll do in the craft along. It could be your triple embossing like we're away to do next. You can use all these little pieces that come out. You know, you've got your streamers, you've got balloons, you've got butterflies. Use these as additional accents if you want to. Use them as stepper stoppers if you want to. Go in with your Ultimate Pro. Go in with your USB, go in with your template library that I know many of you have already got in, and start to use these in conjunction with the confetti border dies. So that's what we're focusing on within Play Your Crafts Right. As I say, the middle show is a masterclass and we're focusing on the interlaced dies, and then at the end of the day what we'll do is we'll come back, of course, to our confetti border dies and we will do that craft along.
Fantastic. I do want to make sure, with the photographs that you said you posted, the two of us, is the one with me making a silly face on there?
The one that we're both making a silly face.
Excellent.
Yes.
That's good. I like a silly face and a sensible face that we did this morning.
Actually, funny enough, the photo that I used for Insta story is that photo.
Excellent. Always good to know that I was looking my best when a picture goes live. Lots of people joining in to say hello. Lorraine52 says good morning all. Zoe Carver, good morning from West Sussex. Kirsty says good morning everyone. Elisa, good morning and all happy Saturday. Lois says good morning everyone from Ohio. Barbara, hello everyone from New Jersey. Anne says, good morning everyone from Arkansas.
Good morning.
Sweet Imp, oh yes, saving this show. Wow, Craig, I love this. I think that box is going to be superb that we see later on. And Rita says, good morning, Crafty Peeps from Louisiana. I hope wherever you are, you've got good weather. It's nice and, you know, it's very blowy yesterday, but it seems to have blown away all of that nasty weather, and it's actually quite nice and quite mild up here at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I think they've blown everything into my back garden.
Oh, have they?
It's just diabolical out there, yeah, so.
It looked like Foxes had a party party in the garden this morning when I woke up.
Did it?
They hadn't. It's just the bins had blown over and there was bin stuff everywhere.
Oh, no.
No, never nice.
I don't like
Not
that,
nice
no.
to clear that up
Did
in
you
the
just
morning.
kick it to the curb and walk in the house?
No, I just ignored it.
Oh, well, even
Yeah.
better then.
I didn't really. I tidied it up. Brent, I promise
Girl
I
after my
tidied
own
it up.
heart.
Shadiah says, good morning, I'm hoping all goes well today. And Carletta says, good morning, everyone from Arkansas. Good morning to you all. Do you remember, we've got random crafts of kindness going on at the moment. If you go to the website, you'll be getting an accumulative discount available for all your purchases. So if you buy one item, you get 11%, 2 items, 12%. You can see where we're going on here. Basically, 5 items or more, you'll get 15%. And there'll be another random craft of kindness available tomorrow. So that only runs up until midnight tonight. So if you are planning on making some purchases, do take advantage of that deal that we've got on there. These are our confetti dies. We've got 5 in the set. Very, very pretty. These are the boards to show you the type of thing you can have here. This first one is your confetti sprinkles. Then we have the next one, which is your scattered flowers. Next one is dancing butterflies. Then we have happy hearts. And then party time. Craig, what are you going to show us with these?
Rightio, let's kickstart with triple embossing here as the background. As I said, I did tease throughout the week that we were going to be doing that with the craft along. Mixed it up a little bit and we're going to do it first instead. So what I've got is I've got some of my water reactive ink pads. I've gone for lemon tonic, orange and Chinese red. However, Becky, you'll be able to do whichever colours you so wish. I like the 3, you might want to do 2, you might want to do a few. It's entirely up to you. Now, the first layer with the water reactive, our clear embossing powder will stick to. However, after that, we're going to have to use this one because the initial idea with triple embossing, Becky, is as soon as you've melted your first layer of your embossing powder, you sprinkle over the top.
Right.
However, this is just a little bit too big that by the time I get to the end of melting my cardstock, it's already dried at the opposite side.
Right, okay.
So therefore, the way around that is ink it, melt it, let it cool just for a second, and then you use your translucent clear, dab it, and then pour your powder. So we're going to do that 3 times. So let's go in with my blending tools. And let's kickstart with our lemon tonic. Now, I am, for this one, using our white multi-purpose cardstock. You know, I'm not doing any water-based technique. You can still do this on your watercolour card. And what you get as well, although you're going to get that triple emboss, you're going to get that lovely underground kind of hammered effect from that watercolour card, because it's got that sort of hammered texture to it. So that can equally look lovely, but of course you can just go in with your multi-purpose like I'm doing here. And then what I like to do is I've started with the lemon tonic, and then I like to go to the opposite end with the red, the Chinese red. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the middle with the orange. And then what I am just going to do is I'm just going to take a bit of kitchen roll at the moment, because with it being these water-based, if I keep my fingers on it too much, what will happen is the imprints from the oils on my finger will pick up. So a bit of kitchen roll, scrap cardstock, anything like that, just to pin it down. And then you can make it as strong, as bright, as vibrant as you want. Before I go back into the middle now with the orange, I'm just going to add a little bit more. I'm not bothered about cleaning off the red off my glass mat, because if I pull any of that into the yellow, it's going to look quite nice. You're going to get that halo of orange all the way round. And then talking of orange, let's go in. We're just then going to go into the middle. And very, very quickly that you can see that I'm adding this colour on. But the water reactive ink pads are absolutely genius in the way that they've been created and designed, Spectrum Noir. Because even if you get a harsh line, just keep going over it with your ink, blend it out, and you're going to get that beautiful blend all the way through. So then let's go back again. So what I'm wanting to do is now blend that orange into the yellow. I'm just going to keep dabbing onto my ink pad just to add more ink on. And then what I'm going to do, although I feel this is that's blended really quite well. I'm still just going to go back in with my orange and just add that extra little bit of blend and then pull it all together. Let's go back with the lemon tonic, and then I'm just going to add that blend all the way across. As strong as or as vibrant as I say, if you want to.
It's a beautiful sunset.
It is, isn't it? And you've got that sunset tone, but then that could be your pinks into your lilacs, into your purples if you want to, of course, or it could be your lagoon into your parakeet, into, you know, oasis, or anything like that. That's entirely up to yourself. So now what I'm going to do, Becky, is because this is our water reactive, that stays open, so that's kind of stays sticky, it stays wet, so to speak. So therefore, if I go in with my clear embossing powder, and then I'm just going to sprinkle it all the way, and then I should have actually sprinkled it onto that first, and then we've got a really, really nice coverage, so it's really toned down that brightness. It's kind of muted it slightly, well, quite a bit in fact. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the excess back in, move it to the side. I'm not moving anything away because I'm still going to need that again, as well as my card. So do as Corinne says, not that I do. Corinne doesn't like me. She doesn't like anyone going close to the heat gun, but I like to do it just to make sure I've got the temperature going.
But I'm sure Corinne told me she switches it on and then goes off and does something else.
She'll go, that's what Corinne does,
I'd be more worried that that was going to fall on the floor and burn my carpet.
It's just what it's horses for courses, isn't it? Corinne's completely right in that safety aspect, but it's just something I've always done. So just making sure I get that to temperature.
I keep doing that with the iron, keep touching the iron, which I shouldn't do, but you know, you just need to make sure it's the right temperature.
Well, that's it. And I suppose it's because if it's something that you've done a lot and are used to
you
doing,
get used to it. Oh, look,
do
it's magical, isn't it, when you see that start to melt?
It is. It really is. It's something that never, ever, ever get fed up of seeing. And then this is where I was meaning that as I move down, that area where my pokey tool is holding down, that's already starting to dry. So by the time I get right down to the bottom, Becky, this top part will already be dry.
Right.
So if I sprinkle my embossing powder over the top, it's not going to stick. So what I'm going to do is keep on going. And instead of rushing and panicking, I'm just going to let the tool do the heating, making sure that I've got a really nice melted coverage.
That is so cool, I love that.
And even on the one layer, it's lovely.
Yeah.
It looks really nice, because if I then tilt that up, and then you go.
Look at that sheen, and
you get that sheen, don't you?
Yeah.
So what we're then going to do is let's go in. The only reason I'm not doing it on my glass mat is because we're going to use our translucent clear. It's a bit sticky. So if I do it on this, I can move it straight out the way. So what we're going to do with our lovely clear, I'm just going to make sure no dirty ink will come off. No, we're fine. All that I'm now going to do, Becky, is go on. So our translucent clear watermark ink pad. So now what I'm doing is I'm making it sticky again. So I'm making it sticky. And then when we pour more of the embossing powder on and start to heat it up, not only will that powder layer start to heat up and melt, but it starts to heat up that initial underneath layer, and it pulls it and binds it all together. So let's go in and then sprinkle another layer over the top. Now, if it is a smaller piece, if it was maybe about half the size, then this is where you could get away with not having to use your translucent clear ink pad. You could sprinkle straight over the top. But then we're going to repeat that process once again. So I'm just going to hold it down. I'm going to start in this corner, and then I'm going to let it melt. So not only does that top layer melt, but what it does is it kind of interferes with that base melted layer, melts together, and blends and pulls it together. And I'm doing it 3 times, so triple emboss, but you can do it 4 times. You can do it 5 times if you want. The more you do it, the more of that pure, smooth sheen glaze you're going to get, and it looks absolutely phenomenal. We're working our way around. So letting it travel.
It looks a little bit like a hammerite kind of paint you get,
Yes.
doesn't it? Where you've got that almost sort of, it's not mottled, but it's got a bit of a texture to it when you do that first layer.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
And then after you've done those few layers, it will be completely smooth.
Completely smooth. So if we look in here, so
Look at that.
in this area here, we're already starting to get that smoothness. So we've got that bit of bobbly down here, but we're getting that smoothness and that sheen in this corner here. So what we can do again, let me just pop that powder back in, and then we're going to repeat that process again. We're going to go back in with our translucent clear, and it doesn't have to be completely cool, just cool enough that the actual powder, the actual emboss has dried. And then what we're just going to do is give it a nice coverage, all nicely covered. We do exactly the same again, so let's lift that onto my card. We're going to go in, sprinkle over the top, make sure that's completely covered. And you can see from the size, as you can see here, that is 5 by 3. So it's a nice little dinky size. It's a nice size as a little subtle background that you're going to see just shortly. And I mean subtle because we're going to put our die cut confetti border over the top. So we're going to go over again, really melting that third layer now into the mid layer, also down into that base layer. And it's just pulling that glaze together, making it so smooth. So if we go in, working our way, and the more you do it, the quicker it melts. So we're just building that up, travelling up and down as it melts.
I love that technique.
It does look glorious. Doing it 3 times, I think, is just spectacular.
Yeah.
And then if you are wanting to do it a few other times, it looks even better. But what you're doing is essentially you're letting it all puddle together. So if you find that there's any little, tiny little bubbles or little baubles, just go over with your heat tool. Because if you do this with the base layer, your base layer is just card and ink, so it's got nothing to suck up into.
Right.
Whereas if your base layer, if you've got a few bubbles, you've got a mid layer of your emboss that it can melt into. So that should be, now look at that.
That is lovely.
That. Isn't that absolutely fab? Do you know what, Becky? Let's do it. Let's do a 4th.
You're going to keep on?
Yeah, let's do one more, and then we can die cut our die into a piece of white. It's a very straightforward and simple card, but boy, it looks awesome because you've done, well now, a 4th emboss.
If you were going to do this, could you then run it through the Gemini after you've embossed it, or would it end up sort of cracking and not quite looking the way it should do?
So that's a really good question. It depends on the pressure as well.
Right.
So you can do it. What I would say is refer back to when Debbie Robinson talks about the Gemini and just have a look at your plate configurations.
Okay.
Because it might not actually need that full 2 cut-and plates,
Right.
magnetic
Of course,
shim.
yeah, because you're laying up.
Because you're layering it up. I wouldn't do anything too intricate. You might find then you might get a little bit of snappage at the side because you've got a thick glaze.
Yep.
However, if it's something quite simple, then, you know, go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it. But let's just do this one last time. So let's start in this corner. We're going to let that travel. And what this also looks absolutely fab on, and Debbie Fisher's done it in the past as well, is your die-cut sentiments. You know,
Oh,
if you've got your
nice,
die-cut
yes.
sentiments, and with the die-cut sentiments, usually they are small enough, even if they're a larger sentiment, they're still small enough that once you've done the first melt, you can pour the powder straight over the top.
Okay.
And it's still melted enough for the powder to stick.
Lovely. I like that idea.
But
And I've got the embossing powder at home, and I wouldn't think to use it for this. I'm going to get home and start
play with
putting
it.
out all my paper craft stuff again.
Definitely. It really is a fun thing to do because certainly in front of my eyes, I know it's a bit harder for you at home with the screen up above, but in front of my eyes, I see that pure, smooth sheen. Just absolutely burst. Look at that. It's like enamel.
In actual fact, when you're using that heat gun, you can see the reflection of the heat gun, so you can see how reflective it's become. But you're right, it's almost completely smooth now, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And that is simply clear embossing powders. And do you know what? It doesn't have to be any expensive clear embossing powder, a clear embossing powder. So that's done. So then let's go into a piece of white multi-purpose. So that is 2 3/4 by 4 1/2. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with confetti sprinkles. And this is a good way to show as well, you don't need to use the full length of it.
Okay.
We will do in the next demonstration and within the craft along, but you don't have to. And then what I am going to do is I'm going to position it, Becky, and this was a tip that I got from Debbie Fisher. So what I'm going to do is take this one side by side, and then all that I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure that the edge of the flowers aren't catching the edge of the card.
Right.
Now what I mean by that, it just means we're going to get a full flower top and bottom. I'm going to tape that in, and then we can run this one through. We can then put it onto our card blank, and that's it done.
Excellent.
So simple. It's the actual creative part of the, well, triple, 4th emboss that looks fab. So let's take this one out. So I'm not going to use any of these little pieces here. Let me just pop all them out. So if I pop them ones out here, take this. What I'm then going to do, let's bring in our card blank, and then finishing this off, giving it that nice frame, I'm going to go around, Becky, with my tape and then a very, very fine piece of black card. So that finishes it off just perfectly. That we can add on to our base. And this is just a wee 4x6 card. And you'll see how lovely it turns out, even although it's small. So let's go in. We're going to add that to the front here. I like my white borders, as you know. And then let's go in with a couple of foam pads, lifting this up in a little bit of height. So let's take this one off. Let's take that one there, and then that one there. And then what we can do is once that's been added, let's put this one here, there and there. I've got a little sentiment. And then what we can do, once we've added that on, I'm not going to add any dewdrops on. I will bring in the one that I've already done. But that
Beautiful.
can go there. And we've got that sheen right in the background, shining through with your triple emboss. So a lovely little card. That's how it looks as well. And just very, very, very quickly, if you like the thought of larger cards, Becky, but you're scared to fill, here is a 5x7 card that I've got here, and simply doing a matte and layer into there. And then what about an A5 card doing exactly the same? Let's bring these ones in into there. So bringing it down from a 4x6 and a 5x7 into an A5 card. I know for Player Crafts, right, that was a bit of an extended demo there, but I thought it was worthwhile showing you that triple emboss and how you can go from a small card to a medium card to a large card.
Fantastic, absolutely beautiful. These are the confetti dies. This is confetti sprinkles, which is one you've just seen. Next one is your scattered flowers. Then we have dancing butterflies. And we have happy hearts. And then we have party time. Really, really beautiful set of dies there. We're going to get started with the first round of the game now, I think. Yeah.
Perfect. Let's go for it.
I can't remember. On my Facebook? I'm Facebook. I'm going to write it down because I always forget.
Right, so I've got my board and I've got my marker here.
Excellent. And it's all about hands.
Hands.
Hands. So we've got to guess whose hands you're seeing on screen. So hopefully well, maybe they're not too close up because sometimes I don't put hand cream on. That might be quite embarrassing. Hopefully you're all going to play along. I like to win.
So do I.
That.
So do I.
I like to win. It's going to be a hard-fought game, I reckon, this one. Hopefully we'll do very well.
I think so.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed as it stands. Right, shall we get started?
Let's go for it.
What's the first one? Whose hands are these? Oh. Yeah, jewellery is a bit of I'm going to have to go close because
so am I.
can't see. Oh, that's quite tricky.
See,
Do you know I don't look at people's hands, I look at their eyes.
I'm trying to recognise the ring. The ring I'm trying to recognise.
Does it look diamond? Oh, hold on a minute. Okay, I think I'm going to go for this one. I'm sure everybody at home is going to be going, how can you not know who that is?
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely not somebody that's left-handed.
I wouldn't actually know who's left and who's right.
Or do you not?
No.
Well, I'm not going to tell you because it might be giving it away later. Okay, should we turn around?
Yeah.
Yeah? I said Sarah.
I've said Debbie Robinson.
Who's right? Neither of us?
Oh, good one. Good one there.
I like to win. I like to win.
I know, I see it, and so do I. So do I. That's the thing.
Well done, everybody that got that correct. Right, let's go for the next one.
Oh, I know that one. I know that one because I've worked with her loads lately. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. It could be a giveaway to Becky, couldn't it?
Oh.
I hope I'm right, anyway. I'm sure
Is
I am.
that right?
I'm sure I am.
Oh God, I don't know.
No?
No, I'm going to go for this one. Don't know if I've got it right. Who have you got?
I've gone for Jan.
Me too. Are we right?
Of course it
Yay! Well done, everybody. We got that right. Okay, next one.
Ooh. Oh.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's definitely Debbie Fisher.
Oh. Right, okay. I'm not entirely sure on this one. Actually, I'm going to change my mind because I think you're right. Can you tell? Do you know what your own hands look like? Can you identify if it's you or not? Yeah? Okay, should we turn them around?
Yep.
I put
I
Craig.
put Ben.
Oh, you put Ben? Oh,
It's
well
not my
done.
fingernails.
It's not your fingernails?
No.
No, it's not your hand.
Not my fingernails. Yeah,
That's not your hand.
Yeah, touche, but yeah.
That hand is
It's
Ben's
my
hand.
No, wait, that's my hand.
No,
Oh,
that's
yes, it's
Ben's
your
hand.
hand.
Okay, next one.
Oh, I know
Oh,
this
okay,
one.
yep.
Oh, didn't dry my board.
Hopefully you're getting this at home. I think the nails are a giveaway on this
I
one.
think so, yeah.
Yeah. All right, ready to turn round?
Yep.
Yeah. I said Corinne.
Yes.
Yes.
Correctamundo. Okay, I think I know that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I know who that is.
No, I've not. No, I didn't get Sarah right at the start. No. No, we're
Don't give him...
we're equal. No, because
Yeah, but I got Ben wrong.
You got Ben wrong. I got him right.
Well,
we're even.
Four all.
Yeah.
If we
She's a
get
good
this one right.
scoremaster, isn't she?
Yeah, I'm a bit worried. Right, I've put
Debbie Robinson.
Debbie Robinson.
Yeah. Gorgeous Debbie's in tomorrow.
Fantastic. Well done, everybody. Hope you did well with all of those. Lots of people have been messaging in. Lots of people loving what you were doing. We've got another round of 5. Yeah. I was thinking, oh no, we've still got more. Lots of people loving that embossing. Loads and loads of messages here. Lynn Harvey says, oh no, I've lost you now, Lynn. Where have you gone? Where have you gone? I've gone to yesterday's messages. Lynn says, I missed the Confetti border dies when they were first released, but I ordered them yesterday.
Brilliant.
Robin M says, lol, I was randomly shopping on the website and ended up with 20 items in my basket.
Oh.
Lots of good sale items, especially on paper. Or I might have to do a little bit of shopping later on.
I need to have a look at paper.
Betty Weaver says, I get to watch almost all the shows today as I'm working from home.
Awesome.
Carol says, good morning from Hull. I received the confetti dies yesterday, so I'm looking forward to some excellent demonstrations. That's really handy. It's almost like it was meant to be. Val says, hi Becky and Craig, looking forward to seeing your demos. Val's in Southampton. Are you watching the football today? Because it's Southampton versus Chelsea today.
Is it?
And the only reason I know I'm not a football fan is because my husband's going out on a jolly.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, so he's a Southampton fan, but they're going to Chelsea to watch the match.
See, no, I don't know that's football tonight. What I do know, though, it is the Elimination Chamber tonight, the WWE's premium live event from Montreal. Yeah, so yeah, looking forward to that one.
When will you be able to watch that after the shows?
Yeah, it's live. It's not till 1 a.m. in the morning.
Oh, okay. You're not. Oh, you're working tomorrow.
I tend to watch when it's live. It's because it's one a month. When it's live like that, I'll tend to watch maybe about the first hour or so, and then I'll go to bed. So
if Craig's really sleepy tomorrow, you'll know why.
You'll know why.
Yeah, because he's been all wrestling up. We've got Sarah Brown says, hello, friends, I'm late. I hope you're all doing well. Sending hugs from Melbourne, Australia. Robin M says, I love embossing. Just adds the right amount of pop to my cards. I've never done it in a whole big place like that. I might have embossed maybe a sentiment or something like that, but I absolutely love what you did there. Lorraine says, try this technique the other day, and let's just say it was a bit of a hash up. What went wrong?
Yeah.
Message in, and Craig can give you a few pointers while you're here. Lillian Kwok says, good morning, Becky, Craig and Chloe. Hi, everybody. Adriana says, great tip, I've never seen this before. Thanks, Craig. And Kirsty says, I think Freya, the furball from hell, wants to play today. She's sitting in front of the PC screen and won't let me type. Luckily, CTV is on the TV, so at least I can watch. Scania Wife says, I've used this triple emboss on small sentiments for cards and also a couple of times on verses to make them stand out, but I never thought of doing it for a background. I think it's a really great idea. Robin M says, I never thought to use a watermark for this. It's pretty neat. Unique way to emboss. Lots of people very, very interested in what you're doing. We do have a birthday. Tracy says, good morning, it's my 30th birthday. I got a lovely Crafter's Companion box of goodies from my hubby. What a lovely surprise. Happy birthday for you.
Happy birthday.
What cake are you getting? That's always a question I ask when it's somebody's birthday. So lots and lots of people enjoying that. Robin says, so shiny, you can see the reflection of the heat tool in the card, which is what I said. It is so shiny.
So
it's like
shiny.
looking at a car. Know, the edge of a car, it gets that really kind of nice shape on it. Robin M says, can you stamp on it after embossing?
No, that's going to be a lot more difficult to do that, because to stamp on it means you would need to, it's a bit like acetate or Centura Peril, where we recommend that you do heat embossing. Well, you've already done heat embossing, so to stamp onto it and then sprinkle more powder on, you would, if you were to do that, it's going to have to be a black powder to create a black outline, but then there is a chance that that will then, of course, just melt into that surface of the clear. So I wouldn't recommend stamping onto it, but maybe any of your silhouette die cuts or anything like that, then you can do. I would do it as a background.
Lovely. And Anne says, do you need to do all the heat embossing all at one time, or can you let it sit for a few layers and then add another layer of heat embossing later? That's basically, so could you go away, have a cup of tea and just leave it, and then it doesn't matter because it will just still heat up, won't it?
Yep, so you can do the first layer in the morning, you can come back 2 weeks later, do the second layer, you can come back 3 weeks later, do the third layer if you want. Absolutely, of course you can. It doesn't matter. Main thing is, each layer is cooled enough for you to then go over with that translucent clear. So yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. I love that. I'm going to try that out. So there are 5 sets or 5 different confetti dies in this set that you've got here. You've seen Craig using the very first one, which is this one here, which is the confetti sprinkles. They are absolutely beautiful, so very, very simple to use. You can see how effective they look once we start using all of those. The next one we've got is your scattered flowers. Then we have your scattered butterflies, and great because you're going to be cutting out those butterflies and you can use them for embellishments elsewhere. Your happy hearts and your party time. Now, Craig, which one are you going to use for this demonstration that you're doing?
Dancing butterflies.
Lovely.
We're going to use the dancing butterflies, and we're going to bring something out that I've not used for a wee while, and that's some of our glitter pens. So what we are going to do is let's take a piece. Let me just get, if I can find another piece of water. Here we go. I forgot to put a piece of cardstock in, Becky, and while you were chatting, I went and cut a piece of cardstock, but I've cut multi-purpose.
Right.
I need my watercolour card.
Okay.
So this is 2 3/4 by 6 1/4. So 2 3/4 by 6 1/4. Let's move them out of the way, deal with that later. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a selection of our glitter pens. So I'm going to go in with, Firefly. Now, Firefly, Barn Red. So some of these are older ones, and Starry Sky. These 3 I just need to prime because these haven't been used yet.
Okay.
So they've still got the yellow band all the way round. So just give that a little bit of a shake. And then what I'm going to do is take the yellow band off, and we don't need that. And we're just going to twist all the way down. We're going to do the same. So just do that with all of them. So if you do purchase any of the glitter pens that we've got on our website, they've all got that yellow band round them. So that just stops that breaking of the seal in transit. So we've got these ones now, all good to go. And what will also happen is the actual brush nib will be white. So you just want to lightly press till you get all of the sparkle ink coming through that chamber. There we go, we're good to go. And then we'll do the same with this one here. All my other ones that I'm away to use are all pre-primed. So let's just go in with this one. Just press at the side, get that flowing down.
They're very vibrant, aren't they?
Very, 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 very vibrant. And then I've got some water, and I just need to take a paintbrush, taking a larger paintbrush. And then what I'm also going to do is let's go in with some Cosmos. And I'm just going to do this onto my glass mat. Of course, you can do it onto your craft mat if you want, or a non-porous surface. So it could be a tile, it could be a dinner plate, laminated sheet of cardstock, something that is wipeable. So we're going to go in with Peony. We're going to go in with Macaroon. And then there's my press, there we go. And then last but by no means least, we're going to go in with Fig. So we're going with Fig, so we've got a nice selection of colours. So what we can then do is get that flowing. And what I've also done as well, Becky, is just while we go and do that, I've taken a piece of our multi-purpose and I've cut to 2.5 by 6.5. So let's bring in our butterfly die. And this one is where I am going to use that full length of the die.
Okay.
And it goes to show within that last one, you can use sections. This one, just take out these bits. I'm going to use that full length. I'm going to have it coming down straight. So let's run this one through our MIDI. They're going to go through all of your Geminis, and depending on the size of the cardstock you're using, for instance this one, it would go through your Mini as well. So let's take that one out the way. And then what I would do is keep all these little bits. I'm not for this moment in time because I've actually got the bits already pre-cut and ready, but all these little butterflies you would keep a hold of.
Yep.
But you've now got your die-cut piece of cardstock.
So pretty.
Very pretty, isn't it? So let's go in now with our card and our water, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to give that a really nice coating of water. So So let's go in, and then you can then decide in which order you want to go. So let's go in with the firefly, and then I'm going to start down at the bottom. We can then go in with a little bit of the orange, which is the barn red, into here. We can then go into macaroon, into here. Then we can then go into, let's go into, what one was that one? Is that the peony? Cosmos, into here. And then let's go into blue there, which is your moonstone. Go into a deeper blue, into here. Just play. Play with your colours. See what you can come up with. Blend them all together. I'm just going to dab all that excess off, and then I'm going to go back in with colour there. I've got a bit of a darker colour, but it won't matter. Still going to show the idea. Take that excess off. I'm going to dab just a tiny little bit of water. I'm just going to start to work my way down. Now, I purposely like to go in with the blues higher up. When it comes to the lighter tones, I like that introduction of the blue hitting the pastel colours. It gives you kind of, for me, that sandscape, seascape sort of a feel with the mountains, the skies coming down. So what I can then do is I'm just going to very, very quickly, let's just take all of this excess off. Now at home you wouldn't of course be wasting that. You would take all of your watercolour card and you would do backgrounds with all of that. But let's dry it off. So we're going to dry it off here. You could go in with your bubble wrap technique, you can go in with the salt technique, you can emboss it if you want to with some of your folders. But what you will get by using the sparkle is you're going to get that sparkle coming all the way through. We'd work with water reactive ink pads, your aqua pens. The only difference is you won't get a sparkle, not that it would matter. And equally, although I've used water and a brush, you could use your clear sparkle overlay. So let's go into this one. So I would let that dry a little bit more, but let's go in to this one just enough so that it's dry enough to stick together. I do have one that I've already done, however, I like this one. I like how this one's kind of turned out. I like how that blue has just started to be pulled into.
If you wanted to emboss that, would you have to make sure it's completely dry?
I would make sure it's completely dry, yeah. I would do. Just better be safe than sure, or safe than sorry to be sure.
It's like looking over the moors.
That's it, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. So sometimes, you know, if you go in with a darker colour, sometimes with it mixing into a light, it can become a little bit muddy, you know, although I've kind of just saved it there and no more. However, it can work if you do go in. As long as, I think you get to a point where it becomes too muddy, I think this works. For me, that's really quite pleasing on the eye. So I'm going to go with that one. Matte and layer onto a bit of black. Let's go in DL card or slimline card. You know me, my white border all the way round. Then we're going to go in with our die cut piece. So what I'll do is let's do just a couple so that we can get that height really, really showing. Let's just add one more. And you can then turn also these, Becky, into shakers if you want to.
Oh yes.
You can do that.
Good idea.
No problem whatsoever. Let's just add last bit of adhesive at the top. And equally, you don't have to use foam pads or glue gel. If you want it completely flat, you can. What I am going to do, is because I've gone over with sparkle, but because it's still slightly damp, I'm going to go in with my tacky glue.
Okay.
If I don't, there's a chance that the foam pads will just come off my sparkle layer. So by going in with my tacky glue, my foam pads will give that initial grab and hold and lift, and then the tacky glue will dry into the fibres of the card. And then last but by no means least, what I have got here is from the Dancing Dragonflies. I've gone in with Dream. So let's just run that one through the small Xyron that I've got here. And then I won't add all the little butterflies on. I'll show you the one that I've done the other night. But if I turn that one in and around, and then using the butterflies that have come out, just adding them onto the top there.
Absolutely stunning. Beautiful. I love that technique. Really nice. So these are the confetti dies. This is the one that you've just seen Craig use. This is your dancing butterflies. This next one is your confetti sprinkles. Then we've got scattered flowers. Then we have happy hearts. And finally, we have party time. Really beautiful collection of dies. Craig, could we quickly do a vote of what you've done so far today? It would be difficult to choose, I think.
So the first one, what I've just done just this very second, I've added a few little dewdrops onto the card. So number 1 with a triple embossing and number 2 with our glitter sparkle pens.
Fantastic. So please do get your votes in, 1 or 2. I don't think I'd like to put a vote in because I don't think I could choose between those. We've got another round of the game. Now, we are neck and neck, aren't we?
Ooh, no.
Got everything to play for. So if you missed earlier on, it's all about hands. So you need to identify the person from their hands. So do play along at home. Hopefully you'll be just as good as we are. The next round we're going to be terrible, aren't we?
Probably got them all.
Right, we're going to get started. So what's the first one in this round? I think that's you, Craig.
That's what I'm doing, yeah, Charlotte, looking at the jewellery.
That's the only way you can identify, isn't it? The jewellery. Stop giving him clues. they're clues. You know, Craig, this one's easy. How can you not get this?
Well, it's because where they are. If it's who I think it is, they're not usually at that side. Okay.
Right, let's turn around. It's me.
Oh, it's you.
It's me.
I put Jan.
Oh my God, when did I take that photo? I've not seen that picture before. That's me. I always have a jade bangle on.
I've never noticed that.
You've never noticed it? I always have a jade bangle on my arm.
I'm a guy, I don't
because mainly I can't take it off.
Notice these things.
Yeah, it's always on. Yeah, it has to be on your left-hand side. I don't know, Chinese folklore or something. It has to be on your left-hand side, but yeah, can't take it off. Right, your next one. Ooh.
Oh gosh.
Again. Okay, I think I know who that is. Think I know. Yeah, that is the giveaway.
Is that?
I can't spell today. I'm going to have to rewrite that.
C-R-A-I-G. I don't recognise.
It's quite difficult. Like I said, I never look at people's hands. I always look at people's eyes. Yes, that's very true. Yeah, that's true. You obviously at home would know exactly who it is because you're watching our hands all the time. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and I also, when I'm here, my eyesight's not good enough for me to be able to see what someone's hand's doing. Well, I can roughly, but tricky. You got somebody, Craig?
No, I'm wrong, but...
I've got Michelle.
Oh, I put Debbie.
You recognise Michelle with that big ring. She's got a really big diamond in
I don't notice rings
her
of
finger.
that.
No.
No.
It's surprisingly difficult, actually.
It is, isn't it?
I thought it was going to be really easy, but
you see, then the way that I think is like, well, usually there's going to be one of all of us, but then I'm thinking, well, they might try and trip us up.
Yeah, and they did the other time that it was. I thought there were two of somebody on there, so it's always difficult to find out. Right, the next one is.
That's one of two for me.
She holds her hands very elegantly.
Yeah.
Very elegant. Yeah.
Who do you think?
I think I know who this one is.
Do you?
Mainly
50-50.
Yeah, I have got Debbie Fisher.
See, for me, it was either Debbie or Leanne.
I recognise the top.
See,
Yeah, I'm not just looking at the hands. Well done, everybody that got that one right.
sorry.
How many? The score is 7-4. To who?
To you, of
To
course.
me. Oh, I do like winning.
All right, don't gloat. No
Yeah,
one likes a
I haven't won
gloater.
yet. Oh, who's that one? Oh. They've got, yeah, they've got, oh, that's a big, I don't remember somebody wearing a Pandora bracelet. Oh, that is, oh, I don't know about this one.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm right. I'm not 100% sure.
No, I'm not sure on this one. You're going to give it a whirl?
So I've put
Yeah.
Leanne.
I've put Leanne. Oh,
Yes.
I always do that. Oh, well done. Okay, last
Right,
one.
last one. Oh gosh, that's easy.
Yeah, that sounds like it's the right score to me.
9-6 to you. If
I reckon this one is. Ready?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's Lily.
Lily. Yay!
Do you think that was my hands?
That's not Craig's hand.
That's not my hands.
That's not your hand.
No, wait, that's her hands. Oh, yes, it's
Oh,
my
well
hands.
done,
Oh, no,
everybody.
it's her
I
hands.
hope you got those right. I hope you enjoyed it. I love the games
I liked that
we
one.
play. That was
I
good.
liked that one. That was a good
and
one.
surprisingly difficult, actually. It's not as easy as we immediately think.
Says her who's gloating because you've won.
Yeah. We do actually. So we're going to choose 5 winners from Facebook, and we'll read out their names in a moment, and we'll just give you the email address that you need to email into, and you'll get your voucher. I do have a winner for your
Oh, do you now?
demo of the show. It is.
I think I know.
You think you know? Which one do you think it is?
I think they're going to go for number 1.
Okay. Charlotte, what do you think without looking? I'm going to go for number 2 as well because number 2 is right.
That's it? Okay,
Yes,
okay.
well done. Well
Okay.
done. Difficult to choose, I think, with
Yeah.
both of those. Very, very beautiful. I've got some winners from the Facebook team. So Shadiah, Sandy Prickhorn, Anne Hopkins, Maeve Sievers, and Kathy Higby-Clayton. If you can email in at prizes@crafterscompanion.com, that will ensure that you're going to be getting your
What was her name?
voucher. It's Sandy Prickhorn. Prickhorn. Priskorn.
No, D.
No. So rude. I don't know. Somebody did say here about the dies being very pretty. That's from Christina. Tracy, who's 30 today, says she's not getting a cake. They're celebrating next weekend as they're going to Manchester this afternoon to see The Lion King the musical.
Oh, nice.
It's been a dream of mine to go and see. I can't wait. I'd love to see that. I've not seen that. That would be really good. Craig says, Alison says, Craig, I love how you put the colours together. I'm not that adventurous. But you just got to give it a whirl, haven't you?
Give it a whirl,
And
yeah.
like you say, you know, in a sunset, you see, or at dusk,
You do.
so many different colours that you wouldn't necessarily have there.
If you like it, if you like the look of it, that's all that matters.
Absolutely. Beth says I need to use my sparkle pens more. Anne says I love my glass plate. I did not think I'd use it much for inking, but like Craig is using it today, I find it the best for blending on multiple colours. I never thought I'd need a glass mat, and I got one, and actually they're super, super useful.
They are, aren't they?
Carol says lovely cards, great demonstration. Somebody did say earlier on, trying to figure out what's on my top. Are they chili peppers? Yes, they are. This top has my favourite drink on it. My favourite cocktail, which is called a Picante de la Casa, and it's tequila, chilies,
Oh, nice.
coriander, lime, and agave syrup, and it makes this little drink. So I thought, actually, I'll try and wear it. But yeah, lots of chilies on there, lots of coriander.
Do you remember the shirt that Joe used to wear?
With the strawberries on it?
No, is it cantaloupe melons or
Oh,
something?
yes, yeah, I remember. Yeah, he used to wear. Yeah, he used to like things with fruit on. I think, I quite like that. I've got a strawberry dress, which I bought last year, and I still can't fit into it. So maybe later on, I might be able to squeeze myself into it. Do you have over there some samples of the confetti dies that you can show us?
Would you like
because
to see
they
them?
are so beautiful, and once you start seeing them in an actual card, you can see what they kind of make, aren't you?
Definitely, yeah. You know, whether you're going to go in with your smaller cards, then you can do that. But then imagine that on that 4x6 card, that would look perfectly. However, if you start to incorporate it into your easel cards, you can do that. You can do, of course, that banner down the front of your card, but you can use it as a stopper as well. But then bringing in your box maker, bringing in your USB, bringing in your scoreboards, that we've got a little masterclass coming tomorrow when it comes to the scoreboards. You can be doing that. Then, of course, if you want to be bringing in your template library, you can start to do that. Using the pieces that come out as well, you know, see what comes out as waste and use them. Die cut a few times over that one piece and creating that background. We've then also got within this one here, we've got simple strip down the side there with a sentiment. That's all that you need to do.
Yep.
Again, simple sentiment along the top there with the confetti borders. Could be down the side of the top box. It could be, of course, your gatefold cards. Simply cutting in and then inking over the top.
That looks really impressive, actually.
It does, doesn't it? That one there, doing a squiggle of ink on that backdrop, going in onto a little tag shape, die cutting that, using the flowers as well. There's just, I mean, crisp and clean and simple you can get creative with, but then you can get colourful at the backdrop as well. Go in with your gems, you can go in with your square cards, doing your triple panels as well. So lots of different things, lots of different ways, and of course, these will be the focal of the craft along at the end of the day.
Fantastic. They are really beautiful. They look absolutely great. Lots of people saying how beautiful the cards are. Great show. Really enjoying those. Now, later on today, we've got between 2 and 3, we've got our masterclass. We're using the interlace dies. And then we've got a craft along later on at 6. And we've got Wendy joining us as a guest. And we're going to be using those confetti border dies. And you're going to be making that beautiful little box. Well, big box for chocolate.
I am indeed.
Big box for chocolate.
Big
Who doesn't
box
like
for
a big
chocolate.
Box for chocolate. Do remember, it is our Random Crafts of Kindness event. So this runs for 3 days. We're on day 2. So if you do want to purchase anything, you get an accumulative discount you're going to be getting. So if you buy 1 item, you'll be going to get 11% off, 2 items 12%, and so on. Up to 5 items or more, you'll get 15% off. And that will run until midnight tonight UK time. And then tomorrow there'll be another Random Craft of Kindness for you as well. So we've got lots to go on to later on today. Do message in later on if you've got any questions. If you've had some issues with doing that embossing that you saw Craig doing earlier on, message in, tell us what you've been doing, what went wrong, and we can give you some advice. Do let us know what you're getting up to today. Are you going to watch the football? Are you staying up late like Craig to watch the wrestling tonight? What are you planning on doing? It's always nice to hear. I keep thinking it's a Sunday, but actually it's a Saturday night, isn't it? So most people would be going out, partying on a Saturday night.
Well, you see, it's only recently that the wrestling have changed their monthly main events from a Sunday night to a Saturday night. So I think as well it's a Sunday.
Yeah, it always feels like it feels like a Sunday when I'm here at the weekend.
What does a Sunday feel like? You know when someone says, "Oh, it feels like a Tuesday." What does it feel like?
Sunday is one of those days where you feel you're allowed not to do anything, aren't you? You feel that's your
day of rest.
And seeing people. I always think it's the day that I go visiting.
It's like, I can't believe it's Friday. It feels like a Wednesday.
Exactly. Let us know. What does a Sunday mean to you? It's not Sunday, so don't get confused. It is just still Saturday. But do let us know what you're going to be getting up to. Do remember we are back at 2 o'clock and we'll also be back at 6 as well. But I hope you have a lovely afternoon, morning, day, whatever you're up to. We're going to go and have a cup of tea, and I might even be able to try to sneak off some of that chocolate that Craig's got hiding over by his desk. I don't think he's going to let me go anywhere near it, but I'm going to try anyway. So we'll see you soon at 2 o'clock. Take care.
Toodles.